next week,
after I retired.
or this week.
You know, once you run that law enforcement retirement thing, you can't, work for any organizations that, like governmental, you interrupt my. Or interrupt that,
You worked too many years.
but, 35.
Good.
But, down there, you know,
What do you do?
Rancher sometimes I went, don't work all the whole thing down there, I still work 7 hours a week.
How long was it now? 3 years. 7 to 5
What,
or
down there?
yeah, whatever you want.
Well, I mean, I was supposed to be 8 to 4, but I started about 4 in the morning. And, yeah,
Too early. I get up at 5.
I'll get in long about 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I'll just set my calls.
Keep on working.
Yeah, that's nice.
Awesome. That's great.
It's like a little city. I mean, what do you got about that?
Has he done any good for
But they're great. It don't bother me, every single one of them, that's my person, so,
Gotta be somebody for 'em.
What would you do if you like say that? What would you do? What if he come back for 10 years?
That's a lot.
she goes, like Walmart, and we go, hell, man.
Here you go.
Because they figure it out.
I don't care what, he's in a glass case, he's a glass case full of both of them all the time.
Feel like you
They'll come to the office, do this, that's something else, so let's chew this boat up and talk about it.
That's right. That's being kind, that's what you want. Supposed to be kind.
Social bubble fixed a lot of things.
I just when it was 18.
So it runs out of flavor.
16, they got him for
Well, I
things.
got plenty of back there.
Give them one more.
You didn't know that?
But
He was, remember that? He was embarrassed.
it makes them
He was
come.
trying to get, he said they should.
I had one just talking to, you know.
I think loosen up, and get to know each other. It makes it easier.
We're just like here, you know.
Well, that scared him down.
Yeah, that's how I filled out first.
Okay, it's 5 o'clock. We're gonna call this meeting to order. I'd like to welcome everyone here tonight. On our prayer list, I'll read that. Diana Shoulders, Joe Taylor, Scotty Lewis, David McDonald, Jack Williams, Jude McCaleb, Courtney Taylor, Amanda Vaughn, Becky Cookston, Katie Foster, and her newborns were born 9 weeks early. Jara Huff, Rachel Kelly's mother, Tara Wilson's mother, and Gina White. Anyone else?
Shane Cawthorn.
Shane Cawthorn.
Drag me.
Okay. Family of Zach Medley. Okay. Pardon? Okay. Add Ms. Moore to that. If you'll all bow your heads. Dear Lord, I thank you for another good day. We thank you for all the many blessings that you've given us. I ask, dear Lord, that during these holidays coming up, that you'll watch over all the children, all the employees of the Board of Education, that they all might have a good Christmas, a Happy New Year, that they'll all be safe, healthy, and will be able to return back to school in January. Dear Lord, watch over all of us, protect us. In your name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Consent items. I hope you've all had a chance to look at all those. Do I have a motion on? Pull C. All right, sir. Do I have a second on that?
Second.
All right. All in favor? Opposed? All right, we pulled the Smith County High School request. And we have our ag teacher here for any questions that you would like to ask there, Mr. Manning, or anybody else.
Well, I find this kind of unique. It seems like it would be a trip of a lifetime, but I'm kind of curious, why are we going out of country to Ireland for this? That's what I'm curious about. I've sat on this board a long time. Sometimes it's hard to approve trips out of state, much less approve trips out of the country. I was a little bit more in depth about this. I guess my question is this, is there not other working farms in the United States? A person could go through if you wanted to do something like this, and why would want to hire them?
So absolutely, solid question. Can I get y'all these? So this trip is through company EF Tours, which we currently use and have used probably for 10 years or more. Mr. J.R. Smith currently has
Thank you.
trips with them right now. I believe a group of students are about to head to Greece over spring break. They were to France this past summer. So using this company is no different than any of the other trips that have been approved previously. I spoke with Mr. Smith today, he said that he had 4 trips approved for this. So yes, you're completely correct. There are tons of working farms, even within the county, that provide great opportunities for our students. There's fabulous ones within the state, and even just to look at surrounding states or somewhere like that. I didn't necessarily go questing for this. This opportunity was presented to me. And so I was like, wow, like, that's really cool. I didn't realize, the difference in this trip versus trips that are currently going on. This is a STEM trip, and I know that's an acronym that we focus on a lot within education. And so this not only gives children the opportunity to go and see Ireland and experience some of the great places and landscapes and culture that it offers, but it's also going to give them a working experience. Now, again, they could go work on somebody's farm here, and I would be relatively the same. However, it does create the opportunity of a lifetime for them. I think that it's a quality investment, I guess, within our children. Even like I'm sitting here thinking about it, like, what would I say about this? Like, I'm a high school teacher. I always have been. I've shifted my role several times within the years that I've been employed here. And I think that it's so different, the opportunities that we get to give our kids. So like a elementary student or elementary teacher is probably looking at, hey, I want to teach this kid to read and I want them to love school and this and that. But by the time they get to me, my job is to give them opportunities. They're supposed to be college and career ready when they leave my classroom. So how about the entire world ready? Because you take a kid right here from Smith County that never knew that they could go outside of the world. I've been on several trips. Trust me, especially as an ag teacher, I have taken kids all over the state. I've taken them out of the state. And I've been on a bus with a kid before that says, I've never left Smith County. And I think that's crazy in a lot of ways because, I mean, I didn't lavishly travel or anything like that as a child, but I had left the county that I had grown up in.
Mr. Caleb, I don't think it's, to answer your question somewhat, and you correct, this trip, this company's not directly tied to agriculture, but they're directly tied to the education, like J.R. Smith had used for different things, you know. I asked her after we talked today, because I brought up some questions too, Tommy, I asked her to come, I felt if you didn't have a chance to be here. She does an excellent job, because as we talked, I couldn't figure out either why, if this wasn't offered, you know, Tennessee, I mean, I came and spoke to her class the other day about artificial breeding cattle, and we're setting up a field trip at her farm to do embryologist. She's doing some great things. But I think you might have answered that, but I think it's in there. But who's paying? The individual child paying?
Yes, so the cost is kind of, it falls on the individual child. However, the company offers like a fundraising program. And so it sets up a lot like a GoFundMe, essentially. So like the child is given a link to it and they can push it out, themselves and everything, but they don't take any fees or tax deductions from it like GoFundMe does. No GoFundMe's do that, but they do that. So the child gets 100% of any money that's donated to them. So it's a great opportunity for a child to be like, hey, you know, don't get anything for my birthday, just donate some money for my trip or anything. I also spoke to Mr. Apple, because when I presented this idea to him, he's like, you know, are you gonna give these kids an opportunity to fundraise? And I said, yes, I would like to. So just within our FFA organization, we do several fundraisers that help keep our chapter afloat and help with our travel to like state conventions, national conventions, and all that stuff. And so what I was looking at was maybe trying to find a different fundraiser, like outside of some of the things that we currently do, because we do like a mum sale and we have our greenhouse sale. So maybe something outside of that, or even the kids that are attending this trip and that are willing to participate in the fundraisers we currently have, like whatever money that they generate from that, I'm gonna take their money and put on their trip. So it won't go to our chapter account, it will go to help them, make this opportunity available to them.
Will it be, I guess, you was to come up with more than 10 kids, would it be, how would you prioritize it, like seniors, would they get the first opportunity, or juniors, older kids?
Yes, so older kids could have the first opportunity, like, any of them have access to it. A lot of times, and conversations I've had with students currently right now, they're kind of like, I'm out of here, like, what are you talking about? But I'm trying to, you know, hook some of them. There were some that had already graduated that had went to France and stuff last year, but no, I mean, it's pretty open, and honestly, I can fill as many seats as that can be on a bus over there in Ireland for the most part. So, I mean, you're talking a pretty good amount of kids would have the opportunity to go.
I was just thinking if it was a lot of seniors, they're done graduated by that day anyway.
Yes, they are, but they still have the opportunity to
Yeah, but I
attend.
mean, they could go,
Right.
they
I
won't
guess
really
you
have
feel
no
like that.
sense
Like,
of adults.
college will be done by then, you'll be out for the summer, like, go on a trip.
So I'm sure that they would have to have a visa, correct, I mean, being under 18.
They have to have a passport, yes.
Under 18.
Everybody will have to have one. So, and the fee that is associated with the trip, that's like all inclusive, so that's their round trip airfare, that's all their hotels, that's their transportation anywhere we're going, that's their breakfast every day, their dinner every day. The only additional cost that the students have to pay for is like lunch, snacks, souvenirs, and then like obtaining their passport before we leave. That's something that's not included in the cost, but they would have to do that themselves.
No.
I have not talked to schools that have specifically done this tour. I do believe there are some within the state of Tennessee that have. And speaking with the lady that is like helping to organize the trip and everything with me, she has made reference that other schools have, but she's not specifically able to. Now, I mean, it becomes a cost for the parents, like if they're, like if you're willing to send your kid, then I mean, that's the situation I guess that you get into. And they split it up to be like
line, you had to make a better, let's just say with this undecided, you said, I gotta know something about the fall of this year. I mean, have you decided when's the latest you can start getting this prepared if we're undecided?
I could pick it up and drop it any time, but the thing is, if I had changed dates with them, it changes cost and everything like that, so it kind of locks in for right now where it holds. And I can totally understand the concern, like, I mean, who's just, it's a good on the other side of the world, with somebody else, but people have done it for years now. Like, there's a group of kids that went to France this summer.
Can I ask a question? May I ask a question,
Yes, sir.
please? I mean, there's a pretty broad stretch here before it would actually take place, right? So, of course, everybody knows I'm gonna have something to say about safety. Who, are you monitoring like world events and things like that, you know? I mean, because, you know, dynamics around the world are changing all the time, and, you know, something could be happening in that arena or a country that you'd be traveling through to arrive there that could cause a problem. Who's monitoring? Are you monitoring those things?
Absolutely. So, I would monitor those things, you know, most definitely, like, more so than I just kind of do, I guess, currently. The EF company, one of the best things about working with them is they are, like, really big on safety. So we have a tour director that's with us 24/7. And also any place, in the world that they have like a tour spot or a destination, they have people that live there, work there, they're complete residents of that, area. They use locals as like their tour directors and stuff like that. And then they work with people locally in the area. So if something is going on, they make different plans. So like one of the things that was expressed to me, so we had a group like, you know, in France, there actually several schools had groups in France and stuff last year. And there was an issue with like some riots and some protests and stuff that were going on. And so, she said, hey, like we worked with our tour directors, we contacted our locals and everything like that in the area. And they're like, hey, you know, this is only happening on these two streets. So like, as long as you avoid these two streets, like you will never encounter anything like this. And so that's exactly what they did. They called the tour directors and I said, hey, you know, just don't be on this side, this and that. And so she said the tour went off the same as always. And like the students and the participants on the tour had no idea that there was actually anything different or anything going on.
So let me ask you this, like, as it got down closer to the wire for you to go, you know, like, and I'm just speaking off the cuff here, if I were to support this, would you be willing to contact the United States Embassy, on your travel route and just ask what the tone is, not the locals? Because sometimes the locals will tell you everything in the world, you know what I mean? I want a little bit more concrete. Would you be willing to do that as time got closer?
Yes, I don't have a problem, with that at all.
Any more questions? Anybody?
I think, it comes down to if the parents are gonna let their kids go, if they wanna let their kids go, and for a trip overseas, that not a lot of kids gonna get to go on. I understand
Me too.
I understand the problem, but
Yeah.
I don't think we ought to be telling the king.
Can I?
That's
I mean,
my
it-
opinion.
It's a once in a lifetime.
That's right. That's
True.
my opinion.
Yeah, that,
Honest.
yes, sir.
I don't have a question, but I feel compelled to make a comment, and Tommy, I'll try to be short. You know, I agree with you, Mr. Rainer, if a parent is fine with that, but, you know, sitting here listening to your plea, or you present your case, if you'll pardon me, Madam Attorney, you presenting your case, it put me in mind of my youngest daughter. I think she was born with a bag in her hand, ready to go anytime. She's traveled all over the place, and it's horrified me every time that she's done so. But something, an observation I have made in that is that she has returned more well-rounded. Her capabilities or her feeling of being more capable has been stronger. You know, so I have noticed that benefit in my own child. I call her a child. She probably won't appreciate that, but you know, and of course I experienced that where I work. They travel all around the world on these trips, and my daughter participated at that in Cumberland as well. And I was on the phone with the Secret Service and everybody in the world, you know, had a airplane and everything else ready to go. But it just, it bothered me because it was my child, but that was being overprotective, I think, in retrospect. And I think I have to agree with Mr. Enoch, if a parent is willing to go along with this. I see it personally as expanding the horizon of a young person, their thought process, and being able to integrate their thought process and why they do things with what they might bring home from another place. So I don't view it as a bad thing. Yes, there are big concerns, obviously, with anything you do, but I kind of agree with Mr. Enoch on this. If a parent is fine with it, I don't know why the board should stand in the way of that. That's just my feeling.
Parents are welcome to attend with their child too, so that's something that they would want to do. Of course, they travel and that's an expense to them too, so, and I know that starts to get into like, hey, am I willing to pay, for 2 spots on this trip? But there are lots of times that parents have gone, on trips with their students. We've had other faculty members say, hey, like, I just think that's a great opportunity. And they, pay for a spot and they go as well. And kind of got my, daughter went to Peru, she's in college at, Ball State, and we actually came on that and she was like, this opportunity, like, we can go travel, like, say you're running, like, Peru, and I was like, girl, you are the most dependent thing, you are not leaving this house, like, and she did it. And it was, like, so cool to watch her spread her wings and, like, triple lockdown, like, quite honestly, it really is, and she grew a lot from that experience, and I know it's probably a little bit different saying, hey, this college kid's gonna go through this versus, a freshman or a sophomore or something like that in high school, but if we show them right now that these opportunities that are available to them, then really the sky is the limit. Like, they might go off and do something that was never really in their thought process, but will change the world.
But it's based on a parent's approval and all of that.
And yes, they can't do anything
Yeah,
without
but
their
I'm just saying the parent's gonna be involved with you and all of that,
To
so.
sign them up, even a kid that's like 18 and everything like that, they have to have like the parents' signatures and everything.
I'm done.
Any other questions? Mr. Enoch, gonna make a motion?
I make a motion to approve.
Second. Got a second? Do a roll call. Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Hessen?
Yes.
Mr. Enoch?
Yes.
Mr. McCaleb?
No.
Mr. Taylor, excuse me, he's absent. Mr. Manning?
I'm gonna abstain.
Abstain, okay. Mr. McDonald? Okay. Myself, yes. So we got, 1, 2, 3. So we got, 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 and 4.
That's it. You still take 5?
I got 5 pass.
Sir?
Pass 5 votes. You got 3 yes.
Got 2 abstained and 1 no, and 1 is not here. Okay, motion failed. Thank you.
All of those are tied together, all 3 of Smith County High.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I meant the Smith County High. There are 3 Smith County High.
So we'll have to back up and see if we're gonna let them go. Am I correct, Ms. Moore?
Gonna have to watch.
We're gonna back up, because these others, we've got to vote on them.
Multiple trips.
Yeah,
Now,
we got a,
motion, we vote on the consent item C second.
Say that again.
and that is all 3 trips. That is that consent item is all 3 trips.
I didn't realize.
So now, we've got to back up and discuss, if you want to discuss the cheerleaders going to Orlando in Florida, and then you got Hosa Club going to Chattanooga. Now, we'll have to vote on those.
Well, we're gonna have to turn around and vote on all 3 of these. Because we voted down C, we voted down all 3 of them. So I'll make a motion to go back into C and vote on each one of them individually again.
Okay,
Second.
second. Favor? All in favor? Opposed? Okay, we'll start with the first one. The Smith County High School request to go to Universal Orlando Resort in Florida.
So we don't have nobody, not being that way, but nobody here to talk about that.
No, sir.
Okay, I seen somebody here from the school system.
I'll make the motion to do that.
Motion, second. Second. Okay, Mr. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Hassan?
Yes.
Mr. Enoch? Mr. McCaleb?
Yes.
Mr. Manning?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Myself, yes. The next one is the HOSA, Smith County High School HOSA Club request for a, state leadership convention in Chattanooga. Do I have a motion?
Yes, sir.
Do I have a second? Second.
Discussion,
Yes, sir.
HOSA, what's that, HOSA?
It'd,
It's a beta club.
FHA,
Yeah.
it would be something to do, depending on which exact,
Be students involved, be students involved?
yeah, oh, yeah, it's all about the student, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it,
Wasn't much of it, so how, okay, I got you.
Got a motion second. Any more discussion? If not, Mr. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Hassan,
Yes.
Mr. Enoch, Mr. McCaleb,
Yes.
Mr. Manning,
Yes.
Mr. McDonald, myself, yes. Okay,
Does that mean we revote the other one again, or no?
I guess we'll, yep. Motion to, Mr. Enoch, you want to make that motion
I'll
again?
make the motion first.
I'll second it.
You'll second it, okay. Any more discussion?
Is this for the Ireland trip?
Yes, sir.
I think it's just we're determining where, that we're saying the kids can go to, I know it's overseas, but we're saying they can go to Orlando or Chattanooga with the parents' approval. But if the parents' approval to go to Ireland, we're saying they can't.
Guys, this is a working trip. You read the package, this kid's gonna be working on this farm. What happens when this kid's approved?
However, the parents are agreeing to it and they're involved in it. Yeah.
Now, I do agree that for the time, it's a year and a half away. That if the time gets closer and there's something going on in the world that, you know, we'll be able to find out the front.
Well, I mean, it changes every day, so.
Why couldn't we, couldn't we just table this and let her come back with some answers that you need? Couldn't we just table this? Would you withdraw your motion and your second and table it till the
Y'all
next,
got specific questions, you'll get them to me, so she has an opportunity to answer
to get
those.
answers for it? Would everybody be good with that?
Yes, I would.
You know-
If somebody
I
else,
don't think you're persuading that you're trying to change something that's, I'm not all right with it.
Well, I mean, we've had some that's wanting to, get some more information, and, Mr. McDonald said he'd like to have a little more information, and I think Tommy would like to have a little more detail to it.
I
And,
believe they'd be students that sign up to go to the moon with them.
but now, if we've done passed, if I'm not, are we going, we've done passed for them to go to, where is,
JR,
JR going?
France, to France. Last summer, they went last summer.
They went last summer, so we passed that, they went last summer to France. Well, anyway, as she said, this is a great opportunity for some of these children, and a lot of y'all don't, well, I didn't realize it. There's a lot of children that never been out of the state of Tennessee. They think going to the Smoky Mountains is like going to New York or Texas or California. And a lot of us have been fortunate to go different parts of the country, or different parts of the world, as far as that goes. A lot of us have been fortunate, and there's just a lot of children that are not fortunate enough, they're not financially able to do it. And, if it's all right with everybody, I think let's table this and get some more information. Yes, sir, Mr. McDonald. For the next meeting.
I'll second that.
Yes, sir.
So,
Pardon?
she said she needed, the price would change if she delayed it. So we need to do it as soon as we can.
Yeah, the next meeting, we need to have it by the next meeting.
I'm gonna withdraw my motion.
What's the,
You
what's the,
Second, okay.
what's the difference in somebody wanting to take a bunch of kids on a carnival cruise? And I'm.
There's not, but the boards could vote down what they want, and that's apparent to some degree. Is it, you know,
What's that
you know, the
about?
board, they can come in and the board has a right to refuse on a case by case. And it also, parental rights would be involved. I mean, no offense, I don't agree with everything every parent lets their child do, mine don't get to do. But that's my, you know,
But the parents are involved in this one, and they will probably sign one form after another to give them permission to go if they don't go themselves.
It's ultimately their decision.
Yes, absolutely. So, we got a motion and we got
Second.
we got a second. Okay, any more discussion?
can,
Yes, sir.
if the board individually wants to ask the questions, can you turn those in to me or Tracy, one so that I can give her, it may be something she can't answer, like a number or working on the farm or not working on the farm, if it's something you wanna,
Yeah.
yeah, but I think
But
he
Mr.
said that if
Mr.
a parent
McDonald.
would turn it down, I could answer that for next if you
And,
wanted to.
Mr. McDonald had some questions, and if he could get those together, well, we can get them answered for you and for Mr. Manning here.
I
So,
don't think it's unfair.
No.
Any board member's got questions, there's nothing unfair
Right.
about asking them.
right. So, we have a motion second, any more discussion? If not, all in favor? Opposed? Opposed, one opposed, okay? Oh, yeah, also, while I'm, at this moment, we just got a text that, Mr. Saylor got out of his surgery, went well, and, said that, Lynn, his wife, would probably, in the next, 2 hours, would get to go in and see him.
Good,
And everything, they said everything went well, so.
good.
All right, let's go on further. Superintendent's actions, I hope you looked at all those. Anybody want to, pull any of those to discuss or anything? If not, we'll go on to new business. This is a contract between Vanderbilt and Smith County Board of Education. Do I have a motion?
Yes, sir.
Do I have a second? Second, okay. Discussions.
Well, we use services that we obviously can't provide, you know, we wouldn't have a staff for one or two individually. But I got Mr. Swan to go one day up here, so he came here tonight, but we're not actually using this service, it's just in case we have one individual that may need it, and if we did, we can reach and get them versus having to go through a 2 or 3 month process, but Eric, if you'd like to explain that. Eric can explain exactly the service that we do a lot of contract with Vanderbilt.
We have an existing contract with this group already, and they provide support of a teacher for hearing impaired. Now, what they requested for us is, they would like to reach out and consult with their audiologist to better support that student. So they felt like if we could approve the contract, then they would not have to go around about pay, they could just directly talk to their audiologist. Not a service that we anticipate using very often, but a support needed for a child when he's
We're not gonna give up. Any more questions? Roll call. Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Hassan?
Yes.
Mr. Enoch? Mr. McCallum? Mr. Manning? Mr. McDonald? Myself, yes. Bid approval for fuel. Do I have a motion? Mr. McDonald, second.
Yes.
Mr. Hess. Discussions? If not this money, roll call, Mr. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Hassan.
Yes.
Mr. Enoch, Mr. McCaleb.
Yes.
Mr. Manning.
Yes.
Mr. McDonald.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Next item is committee appointments for ethics, building, safety, sick leave banks. Now, in that, which involves appointing, really, we need somebody for ethics and somebody for safety. I think that's what we discussed. I guess it's left up to me to make these appointments, which with ethics, I'd like to have, which Smith needs to be on all these committees. Yes, sir.
I don't recollect really doing this before, Tommy.
You on one
Yeah.
now?
So this is just a
We have to read,
Renewal.
Yeah.
review it? Okay.
Well, we've had a board change too.
I don't think they've met, I don't think they had a need to meet, but, you know, if you did have an incident at a school, you really need to have for sure a safety, and also you really need a ethics if you don't have anything else, those two.
well, Marty, being you spoke up, I'll put you on ethics. About you, Mr. Lewis? You on ethics?
Certainly, yes.
The only other one really we need a board for would be safety. Again, I'd like to have Mr. Smith on it and Mr. Lewis, and I'm open up for anybody else that would want to jump on that.
Doug?
Mr. McDonald, okay. On safety, all right. Do I have a motion to approve these people?
Yes,
Second?
second.
Second. Roll call, Mr. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Hassan,
Yes.
Mr. Enoch, Mr. McCaleb,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor. Excuse me, he's out. Mr. Manning, Mr. McDonald, myself, yes. Next thing on the agenda will be the discussion of school safety, and we have Mr. Mike Dunn here with us tonight, and he would like to address the board, and you gave Mr. Dunn permission to be here, so we'll turn it over to Mr. Dunn.
All right, thank you all. Appreciate you giving me time tonight. I know everybody's time is precious, especially this time of year. So, Merry Christmas to you all ahead of time. I was trying to get in to speak with you all immediately after I spoke to the county commission on congratulations to you all for having you helped out the teachers and all the employees of the school district earlier in the year. And I know a lot of people appreciate that, so thank you. I wanted to touch base with you all again revolving around school safety and security. I'm glad the issue was talked about tonight with the new committee. Recap, I've been in law enforcement and government service over 30 years, local, state, and federal level, as well as other government service, including the district attorney's office and a government board. And I was involved in Tennessee's first reactionary services to an active situation in schools back in the 90s after the Columbine incident. We started reevaluating how to react to that type of situation. Before that time, if an incident happened in a school, the old playbook was to make a perimeter and call SWAT, and have them come out and formulate a plan, and they would make entry. Well, people are getting shot right and left while all that's happening, so that wasn't working anymore. People weren't coming in to take hostages anymore, they were coming in to kill soft targets. So in an active killer situation, we used to call an active shooter situation, but all over the world, they're using everything else as well. So, and even it's made it into this country with machetes and daggers and whatever, pipe bombs. So it's progressed to active killer situation. Because of that, we reevaluated, everybody on the department got the same training. First 4 officers on site, make entry, take out the subjects that are causing the issue, and save as many people as possible, because seconds save lives. So with that, building on that, I started training unofficially, officially, with Roger Lewis. years ago here with a couple schools, and we went through scenario drills late at night. Because if, I hesitate to say this publicly, in recording, but a good 90% plus of the active killer situations involve students or former students being the aggressor. And they know the plan. They know the drills. So they know what to do to effect the most kills possible. So I requested and suggested reevaluating some of those things, and we ran through some active scenarios and made teachers think, made principals think. I'd recommend the same again, but on a side note, because of that and developed it, we just happened up on this one day when I was working undercover, we were able to uncover the first sleeper cell in the state of Tennessee shortly after 9/11. And it was a sleeper cell in Nashville, over on 46th Avenue, that was funneling and raising money for narcotics to fund other sleeper cells across the state to machine gun elementary schools where they got the green light. That was their MO, but we stopped it. We just happened upon it, and that was an act of God, I believe that. So because of that, we went on further. I got with the senator, and we started to develop a concept of direct information to where if there could be a device, and the device was worn by a teacher or whoever in the school district wanted to wear one. If there was an incident involved, and if an alert was pushed, it's an instant video and audio live feed between that wearer and 911 communication, and whoever else you want the guest list to go to. Maybe the 6 officers that patrol the area, maybe Sheriff Hopper, maybe the chief of police, maybe whoever, EMS, Chief Pike, the fire department, whoever. As many guest lists as you want. They get a live feed on their phone, on their laptop, on their security monitors in the office, director's schools, his office, big security monitor on the wall. It'd be a live feed of what's going on in real time. So the first responders, as they're responding, they know what they're responding to. They know where to go exactly because of the GPS inside the device. And on the way, they know what plan to formulate. And this is what we call the fog of war in law enforcement has been lifted. Because they know where to go, suspect description, weapon description, casualties, exactly as it's revolving. And the device I helped to manufacture and create, not only do first responders get a live feed, but everyone else that's wearing the device at the school, they look on the back and they get a live feed also. So if a teacher on this end of the school is alerted by a teacher on that end of the school, oh my goodness, they're shooting in the gym, I had no idea. We're taking evasive action, whatever the plan is, whatever's decided ahead of time. If you study the Columbine High School shooting footage, the kids that survived were the ones that got out. Because they had time to react in a beneficial way to them. The ones that huddled and stayed in place, they got killed. And all the protective duties I've held with VIPs, protective duties with presidents and all the delegation, we separate our protectee from the threat. And it works every time if you separate them from the threat. So our children's lives are worth no less. But if the first responders know exactly what's going on, where to go in real time, and it always evolves. Because if somebody calls the police and says, I've got this or this is going on, and if it's a hectic situation, the information's always partial. Sometimes it's incorrect. Sometimes a wrong suspect description gets out, and then all kinds of stuff gets into chaos because the wrong people are getting chased and the right people are getting away. It's a mess. But this helps put everybody on the same link at the same time for the right purpose, including medical situations or simple distress in the classroom. What if the teacher's involved in a fight? What if she's asked to break up a fight between two students? Whatever it is, that button's hit. And it's a live feed straight to the SRO, straight to the principal, straight to the school nurse. And they can see in real time what's going on. Not only that, medical situation. Child has a collapse in the classroom or on the track or on a school bus or at a convention or on a trip in Florida or in Chattanooga. These devices do not go out of radios. The 3, 4, and 5G network with a contract with First Net through law enforcement, and they're backed up by Starlink. So they never go out of range. We've had it tested worldwide already, from Asia to here, all over the country, different states to here. So if you're out on the track, if you're anywhere, this device has two-way communication without an emergency alert. Teachers can talk to teachers all day long. Principals can talk to whatever teachers they want, all of them at the same time, or 10 of them, or the coaching staff, or these three, or that one, or teacher to teacher, whatever. And it's all encrypted. The 800 megahertz radios we have nowadays, they are not encrypted. They might be private channels, but if you've got a matching radio, like happened in Defeated several times already, people up the street keep messing around with the daily school schedule, and it causes chaos and HIPAA violations. Little Johnny's come back from the nurse's office. He's got to go home. He's got the flu. Go ahead and pack his stuff. That just went out over public radio waves. That's a $50,000 fine per occurrence if reported. So with these devices, push button talk communication like the old Nextel, plus it's got text communication. Teachers don't have to carry a cell phone anymore. They can text each other at school, text the principal back and forth. It replaces the intercom if you want it to. Teachers can wear an earbud so it doesn't disturb the class. Several possibilities. Plus, we've added a couple things. I want to pass these out to y'all. And, yes, sir. I'm a visual person as well. So, it'll help you picture what's going on. We've added a couple alerts, decibel alerts, to where, let's say a wearer happens to be the first casualty. We added gunshot detection as a decibel alert. So if the device hears gunshots, it's an instant live feed to 911, just in case the teacher that's swearing in is the first casualty. Kids don't know what to do. So I've done a comparison here. Some people are using a cell phone app, and some people have gone with the panic button card. And this compares the device we've designed to those other two functions. And in the back of the packet, I wrote a descriptive letter that kind of goes into detail about things. But what I'm asking of you all, there are grants that will pay for these things. We drew up legislation, took it before the Tennessee General Assembly last session. There was not one single vote in opposition. The House, the Senate, the governor's office, everybody in favor unanimously. So they decided just to administratively approve it for the safety grant for the school districts to cover these devices. And at the same time, that safety grant was used up to pay for SROs statewide because of the post-covenant school shooting atmosphere. So we expect that fund to come up again in this next session. It probably won't reach the level it did last time at 40 million, but it will have some put into it. But there's also different grants out there, as you all know, the COPS grants at the federal level, and there's even a nonprofit one right now for churches that's come out at the federal level for these devices. So this is the best technology on the market right now for protecting our children. There's nothing better out there that can offer a real-time information highway between the incident and the first responders, whether they be medical, police, or fire. And our children's lives are worth it. Teachers' lives are worth it. And for once, the first responders' lives will be protected because they're not going into an ambush anymore. Because everybody's on the same page at the same time. But this device can be used daily for daily encrypted communication at school. Teachers won't have to use their cell phones, which we know is a huge liability for personal information, kids' information, texting stuff, taking pictures, taking them home, getting them on social media. These devices have no internet search capability, and the product on there would be owned by the school district. So if an incident is triggered and recorded, that material stays on the device and could be downloaded by an administrator at that school, and it's property of the school district. nowhere else. No one else is looking in like Big Brother does with our phones. If you don't believe that, mention Gatlinburg, and you'll see all the ads for Gatlinburg pop up on your phone. Everybody's seen it, we know. But with these devices, it's the best friend for the teacher, for the wearer, and for the responder at the same time to protect everybody's lives. It's an awesome thing. It's a no-brainer, and especially if you get the grants to pay for it. My goodness, it's awesome. We've been working with Williamson County a lot. They loved it and wanted a souped-up, different device, so we designed something special just for them. And they're all for it. We're supposed to have one more meeting with them in January. But my goodness, I would love it if Smith County was the first school district to have it. We're already in churches. Churches in Williamson County are in love with it, and we're already using it. Our product's already been tested by security companies. Former and current law enforcement officers working with security details, they love them. And that's their world. I understand that because it's my world. So I would appreciate it. I will ask you this, for the benefit of our kids, our teachers, you all, and our SROs, citizens of Smith County. Give us a chance to prove it to you. Let me set up a meeting with you all to demonstrate what we have and see what you all think. Any questions we can answer then. You can see how it works, what it does, all the good stuff. And just in case, we can compare devices, things like that. It'd be wonderful to display it for y'all, for the benefit of the kids. And there's nothing out there better, not at all. We've also got people right now that are already negotiating overseas and with the new Trump administration for this. And they're interested, very interested. So, any questions for y'all, from y'all tonight? I have. Yes, sir. You said this would be fully funded, and you could use safety grant money to pay for this? That's what the Tennessee legislature and the governor's office administratively approved. We use our safety money for other stuff. Absolutely. And I don't know if the board realizes, you board members probably don't realize this, we're under the COP grant now, we're on a 3-year, we have a push button lanyards that wires on their necklace now, and I think it's a 3-year deal? Is it a 3-year grant?
Three, maybe four, that's the.
4-year grant. So this is the first year we started that. We've got that, and I have a few employees that had a few concerns about the small lanyards being a little heavy around their neck, and now you're wanting to put something like a cell phone, which I seen your device last time that you had, that was gonna put around the neck. Let me answer that. Heavy. Our device weighs 4 ounces, which is 1/3 the weight of a smartphone, and it doesn't have to be worn on a lanyard. It can be clipped on a tail, clipped on a belt, kept in your pocket, wherever you want it kept. And it can be kept on a charger, just like your 800 megahertz radio, which is much heavier than the cell phone. Anybody's cell phone, that's what they carry now, that 800 megahertz radio. That goes out of range. Yeah, every employee now totes radio and have a lanyard, which we're under the top screen back. Said no school district, state Tennessee is implemented this yet. Not yet. It's new technology, and it was approved for the safety grant right after the safety grant emptied. If you use your safety grant money every year for this, or is it a one-time fee, or is it a monthly fee for the device you have to wire? There would be a maintenance and upgrade fee. It's very minimal. And the purchase of the device would be ours. And we would offer a sell back feature 3 years later if you want to re-up with a better device. And we could buy them back from you all, and we could always sell them to a security company or whoever they wanted.
So what if, either,
Now, my next concern is, you said it's got video capability and you just press a button. Yes, sir. Not saying that every employee is the perfect employee. You always might get one every now. I kind of concerned about that. What if you was in a place where you didn't need to be recording, and you hit the button and decided you wanted to record something, Well, there's different alerts on that device. And if you want to push the ultimate SOS, it's a 2-button verification alert. So you're not going to accidentally push it. You have to intentionally alert it. I'm sorry? You could intentionally push it.
If we got an employee intentionally doing that, then we need to be addressing that problem.
And we would.
Yeah, we absolutely would.
It could happen.
Quick.
They do it along with what they already have. And, we're offering a one-stop shop for the best in communication to save lives. That's it. And anything can be misused.
We're not really following the hand thing tonight, but I've got a question anytime.
That's a fine word.
No, I've got a
It
question.
has to be pressed 8 times. You send a ding alert to 911, and they have no idea what's going on.
I feel like I might roll over.
Leg broke, was it out of the gun? We don't know. The next step has to be a phone call. And if something's under distress, and if nobody answers the phone, they still don't know what's going on. And if things shift around, they don't know where it's at, because things go all over. But with this, instant live feed, and they stay in touch, two-way communication the entire time. I would want that for my children, for my family, even for me. I'm just kind of curious why other school districts haven't jumped on this all. Money. Money's the thing. It was approved by safety grant, for the safety grant, but that's just one method. And again, especially with the little push-button card, well, we just spend a bunch of money on these candles. We don't need electricity. We've got candles. We don't get use out of candles. So, you know, if something, and that's why I tried to describe a comparison between the popular cell phone app or the push-button card. Law enforcement everywhere, they're wanting ours. And, in fact, you know you got something good when Motorola copies your information and prints my words, word for word, on their website. So that's pretty good. Yes, sir.
We're not, I mean, I just got a couple questions.
Yes, sir.
I wish you quit calling me sir. We've known each other too long for that. Thank you, sir. You're welcome, sir. Under our current circumstances director, does it have that live feed video capability?
Just a card?
Yes.
No.
Okay, all right. So listen, I'm gonna make a couple comments. I mean, obviously, clearly, I'm not gonna deny, I mean, he and I have been friends for years, but I'm not affiliated with them. But obviously, we've done the same line of work for, well, I'm older than he is, but for a long time. I don't care, and I'm not trying to sell this product. What I'm about to make a comment, and I'm gonna make a motion, but I don't care what product that we're using, but y'all know I did this for 35 years. I'm doing it now for a university. I'm chairman of the safety committee at the university. I'm on the safety committee here. Some of the most disconcerting, unmanageable, it's like chewing gum and hair, is an attack like this on a school system, particularly when the ones responding cannot see what's happening. One of the most gut-wrenching things in the world is knowing that they're telling you that there's something in this building, but you can't see what's in there, and you don't know where it is. And we just experienced that with Covenant.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not trying to get off on that because the news is still talking about it, but 14 minutes, is that right? Because the gunshots are going off and the officers are responding, and they did a stellar job. I'm not knocking that, but my role causes me to reconstruct and dissect, just like yours. They're going up a staircase, one's grabbing one, no, I think it's over here, it's over there. Listen, gentlemen, you got to think about this in a different term. The active shooter, so to speak, is the threat, but it's not the only threat. Time. Every second that clicks by is one more round that's fired off. So how do you eliminate that? I mean, I know what we do where I work, but, and it's not this program or whatever, but everybody that's responding can see everything in real time, just like we can. Every move is made, every time it shifts, and it will shift, and they will move, and they move all through these buildings. The fastest way that I know to stop this once it begins, because none of us have the ability, I mean, God Almighty does, but we don't, to say that tomorrow there's not going to be another one of these in the world. There will be, absolutely, somewhere. So what can we do to, if it occurs, what can we do to reduce the impact of that? Well, time is how we reduce the impact of that. It's a proven thing. I've stated it time and again, and we deploy in that way now. So I would like, with the chairman's permission, I don't think that it's too much to ask. We've got several new board members that probably have questions. I would like to make a motion to let him come and do a presentation and show what this device will do in comparison to what we have now, and then let the board look and ask questions and see what's happening with it, because, you know, without sitting in front of you and the realization of what difference it makes, it truly does. Our last active shooter, again, I'm using that language, which I realize has changed, but I'm trying not to be so aggressive sounding with it. Drill that we ran after we started implementing these type things, the target subject that we utilized in that was in hands in 3 minutes and 22 seconds. Now listen, and why? Because all of us could see what was happening at the same time. As it moved, we moved. You know, I mean, how many wrecks could you avoid on the interstate if you could see what was happening in real time? So I really think that it's worth, you know, letting him come show you all this and let everybody kind of look at it. Mr. Chairman, if you permit me, I'm going to make a motion to do that. If I don't get a second, I understand. But first responders, you know, are the ones that are coming to our children. Our teachers and things in these buildings would need the ability to be able to see these things, in my opinion, to be able to react to it and move away. You know, the old Homeland Security training is, you know, the 3-thing rule, you know, run, hide, or fight, or whatever. Run is what lives the majority of the time, but if you don't know it's there, you don't know to run. So I'm making a motion that he be allowed to come and give us a presentation so that all of y'all can see what I haven't seen this technology. I think you were here once before and showed us a little something, but this is different from that, a little bit more improved, I believe, just reading this. I'm going to make the motion he'd be allowed to come before the board and just give us a presentation and let y'all all see what you think and all that stuff. So making that in the form of a motion. If I don't get a second, then I don't. But I think it's worth our time if it benefits one child's life or employee's life. I think it's worth our time to look at it.
Okay, we got a motion, do I have a second?
I say instead of doing the presentation or whatever in here, could we go to a school and have 2 or 3 cameras? So one would be on one end, one on another end, just to make sure the distance and everything's there. And you can actually communicate and.
I mean, you could use this facility right here, for that matter, and
Well, yeah.
I don't have a problem seeing this technology. The problem I have here, guys, a year and a half ago, we sat right here and set to the Tennessee comp plan to put the linears in, and we signed a 4-year deal. So now, if we ended up going this way, and I think the technology is good, I'm not knocking the technology, you're gonna have 2 systems in this thing. You're under contract for 3 more years with the land.
we may be, but that doesn't mean they have to have it around their neck every day.
No, but I mean, we're not diligent with the money, we're just gonna throw that money away.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying we're not being, my opinion, based on my experiences, we're not being diligent in our efforts to provide what is the most technologically advanced advantage to our students, employees, and the first responders coming in. Because these things change. I know we sit right here and did that.
Oh, yeah, this device has changed from the last one. that
It has, Tommy, but the reason it changes so much is that everybody's desire to try to achieve that level where everybody involved is on the same page and knows what to do has moved so quickly. And I just think it's worth their time. Now, if you'd like to have a demonstration or something, bring them and go to middle school over here. We can sit in here in real time, see what happens over there. I mean, but I just think so. Anyway, go ahead, Doc.
I'd like to see a demonstration of what we have now, so we can compare it apples to apples.
Bring them both.
If we get into a school system, maybe we can get that done too.
I think you gotta look at 2 things. You're definitely under contract to finish out where we're at, okay? this may, and I don't want any way to discredit what we got, cause it's awesome. I don't want anybody to fool you, we're getting other school systems across the state, and the country's coming, look at what we got. I'm not saying what you got ain't a jet airplane compared to it, I'm just saying, I don't like it discredited, cause it's great, okay? And I think it'd be great for y'all to see how it works, and then I think that's fine to listen, but, and if they're gonna fund this, I don't care to have 4 systems, but if the funding's there, if they're gonna pay for it, why not, but, I don't think you can afford to get 2 systems, I'd highly advise you against that, pay for 2. But if it's free, I'm in. But yes, we can arrange whatever y'all want, and then I would do them on separate days, so you can really ask questions and understand. I would advise y'all talk to some of the teachers Tuesday, and then Mr. Dunn can present his in.
So do I have a second or?
Not yet.
Where we're at?
Still waiting for a second.
I don't think anybody knows that.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second to have a demonstration, just to see what it
Okay.
does.
All right.
Make sure it works.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed? Thank you, Mr.
So we just need to get with Mike and set up, I assume after Christmas.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I wish you would.
No, but do y'all
After
wanna do it?
Christmas.
I know all y'all here work a job. Do you wanna do it on a board meeting night, or do you wanna do it? Y'all wanna give me some time?
Was this, is it possible to do it, is that retreat in February?
I was gonna say you could do one of them.
Do one of them then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Tammy, if we could talk to her and see how much time she's gonna allot us, Mike could do them both, that day.
Everybody good with that?
Yeah.
Set it up for. Let you start putting it together. Thank you.
Appreciate y'all,
Yeah.
Mayor.
Oh,
Thank y'all. If you can, please join us 7 o'clock and on. We'll open the party for
the, annual policy review for December. Y'all all had a chance to look at your policies, reviews. If so, do we need to go in executive session this morning? No. Does any, pardon?
Before you dismiss, when's our next meeting?
It's at the bottom of your list, or, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else anybody else wants to discuss before I ask for a motion, to have a motion to adjourn? Second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Yes.
Sorry, just say you're all night.